What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today, my voice is not holding up great, and I'm kind of croaky, but we've got a new One Piece TCG set that has gone and been revealed, so what am I going to do? Not tell you about it? No, ladies and gentlemen, that doesn't sound like me. Now, this information does come from One Piece TCG, who incidentally are awesome. I love the dudes running that, big fans, so check them out, they are brilliant. But what we've got is OP04, Kingdom of Conspiracy, which is apparently going on sale in Japan on May the 27th. So, what does this tell us? Now, one of the first things this tells us, and I'm sorry if this seems a little bit obvious, but I'm going to say it anyway. It means the game is still going strong. And this is actually a really, really good thing. And look, I keep seeing comments from people all over the place going, oh, this is what's going to kill the game. Like constantly, just all the time. And it's just stupid. This game is going ridiculously well. This game is absolutely crushing. This game is going nowhere anytime soon. One Piece TCG is about the most successful TCG that's launched in, I'll be honest with you, I honestly don't know how long. It's been a long time since any trading card game could even get close to this in terms of how popular it's been at launch. But you never know what's going to happen in the future. And we've seen with games like the Transformers TCG and Star Wars Destiny that when games are in trouble, one of the first things that happens is the releases start getting a little bit further apart. We start questioning, where is the next set? Why haven't we heard about the next set yet? What's going on with the new set? And it takes a while. And then the new set kind of comes out, but it's months later than we generally would have been expecting. And that's usually a pretty good sign that the card game is on the way out. So the fact that we're getting a new set, and we're getting it in a nice, timely fashion, if nothing else, is proof that the game is doing very, very well. Although, again, and I keep seeing these rumours all the time, the rumours basically boil down to the game is too successful and it's selling too much, so it's gonna die soon. And just say that out loud and realise how silly it sounds. Yeah, the game is gonna fail because it's selling too much. It's too popular, because that's what all companies are terrified of, selling too much. I assure you, this game is doing absolutely brilliantly. So, what do we know about this set? We don't know very much. We know the release date on May the 27th. We'll talk about the release in terms of Japanese dates in a moment. But according to distributors, the name Kingdom of Conspiracy might mean it's focused on the Arabasta and Dressrosa runs, or I don't know, use whatever phrase you like, ladies and gentlemen. But that's kind of what we're looking at here. So, arcs, that's it. That's the word I'm looking for. Arcs. There we go. We got there in the end, ladies and gentlemen. We got there in the end. And I'm not the biggest One Piece aficionado when it comes to, in-depth knowledge of the anime, though I am watching and catching up. I found Choo-Choo, the dog. Oh my word, that's like my favourite character now. I want a leader of that dog, and I will play no other deck like ever. It's amazing. So here's what it says on OnePiece.fandom.com about the Arabasta Saga. Yeah, it turns out there's an arc and there's a saga. Let's go for the saga because that's wider. The Arabasta Saga, also referred to as the Baroque Work Saga, is the second saga of the manga and anime One Piece. Makes sense because this is kind of new. When the Straw Hat Pirates enter the Grand Line, they're encountering the Whale Laboon. Then they're traveling to Whiskey Peak, where they're not just be targeted by the criminal organization Baroque Works, but also deciding to help Nefertari Vivi, who we have seen in the game. After another adventure on Little Garden and Drum Island, the Straw Hat Pirates and Vivi reach Arabasta, Vivi's home, where a war is about to take place, caused by Baroque Works head Mr. O. Oh, okay. That kind of makes sense. And then Dressrosa again, we've got a saga here. Here's what it says on OnePiece.fandom.com. That is where the images come from as well. The Dressrosa saga is the 8th saga of the manga and anime One Piece and the second saga of the second half of the series. The Straw Hat Pirates finally enter the new world, but soon receive a distress call from Punk Hazard, where they become entangled in the illegal experiments of Caesar Clown. And on Dressrosa, they challenge Don Quixote do Flamingo, uncover a decade-long conspiracy in the Island Kingdom. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is something we're going to have to figure out as we go along. And again, we don't know that. I don't know. That's what the distributors are suggesting. Sounds fairly sensible. Obviously, when this is revealed, when we have booster pack artwork, when we've got cards to show off, I will come and show them to you, and we can have a nice long discussion then and all of that good stuff. Yay! But I want to focus on the release date for the moment, because this now, we got 4 sets, and this gives us some really good information about how sets are being handled over in Japan. So we had set number 1. That's your Romance Dawn. That came around on the 22nd of July. We then had OP04 Summit Battle. Remember, the names are sometimes a bit different in Japanese and English. We're using the Japanese names for today because we're talking Japanese sets. That came around on November the 4th, which was about 3.5 months later. Somewhere in that region, about 3 months and 2 weeks. We then had Pillars of Strength, which came out on February the 11th, which was 3 months and 1 week later, so not quite 3.5 months, but not a million miles away. And then we got OP04 Kingdom of Conspiracy, which came around on May the 24th, which is 3 months and 2 weeks later. Oh. Well, would you look at that, ladies and gentlemen? Would you look at that? We've got a 3 to 3.5 months gap in terms of all of these sets. So, in theory, and we don't know what it's called, obviously, but OP05 should be around about, well, 3 months of May is May, June, July, August, but we're probably, time we had a week or two, we're talking beginning of September. And I don't know that, let's be perfectly clear, but it makes sense that OP05 will then be the beginning of September. We've not got a real hard and fast, like for instance in the Pokemon TCG, they do go away from it occasionally, but we've generally got February, May, August, November. That all makes perfect sense. So we can really kind of rely on that most of the time. I know it goes away from it sometimes. Whereas with One Piece, we're still trying to figure it out. We don't have that same these 4 months during the year thing going on. But it does seem like we're going to be getting 4 sets a year. Now, obviously, if you've been paying attention, you'll know that it's not every 3 months, it's every 3 and a bit, 3.5 months, somewhere around there. So we're not actually going to get 4 sets in a year. Like Romance Dawn came out on July the 22nd, and I'm assuming that the 5th set is going to come out at the beginning of September, which you'll notice is kind of 6 weeks more than a year. So there's like 4 sets in a year and 6 weeks or something along those lines. So yeah, I get it. I know it's not exactly that, but it seems like about 4 sets a year is nice. And I know this is something we've suspected for a while, but I do think it's really, really important sometimes to just remember and remind ourselves the One Piece TCG is still like super duper new. So we can't just assume everything is going to be exactly the same. We can't just go, oh, well, there's been 2 sets. You know, OP02 was 3.5 months after OP01. Hey, we're going to get a set every 3.5 months. It's more like a set every 3.25 to 3.5 months. And it turns out that has actually worked out quite nicely, but trying to extrapolate from 2 sets is just really not a very good idea. But there is something else we need to start thinking about here, and that is special sets. Because for Digimon, they went through with your regular sets quite nicely until they hit BT6. And BT6 was Double Diamond, and then they didn't go straight to BT7. They had EX01, the Extra Set Classic Collection. Now, I don't know whether One Piece is going to do this or not. Obviously, I don't know whether One Piece is going to do this or not. I don't work for Bandai. I don't have any insider information. I wish I did. My YouTube videos would be way better if I could literally just leak all the Bandai secrets. But that is, of course, absurd. There's no way that was ever going to happen. Never mind. But if we look, and I've told you this a bunch of times in a bunch of videos, what One Piece, a team of Bandai covering One Piece, what they are clearly doing here is following what has happened with Digimon. They have looked at what the Digimon team have done, and they are following it really, 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 really closely. Like, weirdly closely. And you know what? If they are going to follow what the Digimon team have gone and done, then we should start expecting some extra packs coming along. Now, the interesting thing with EX01, that it was basically harking back to an older Digimon TCG, and there are older One Piece card games out there, but they're not the same as the old Digimon one, which was really quite fondly remembered. But they only did that for one EX set. They've done 4 EX sets up to now, and now they're just extra themed sets. It doesn't have to be themed after an old card game. It could be themed after anything. So we're still a little way away, alright? We still need OP05 and OP06, but just bear that in mind. Coming down the pipeline, I would not be surprised if we got an EX set coming, and then everyone's going to moan that the releases are too regular and too quick and all of that. We can talk about that later. For now, I just wanted to remind you that's something to be looking out for. For now, I want to know what you think about this. I want to know how excited you are. I want to have any of your predictions, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about, well, a whole bunch of stuff like the One Piece card game. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord and chat with us and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.